Dear compatriot, fellow Africans, and the world citizen, as we are sloping down toward the year 2023, I would like to share this message with you as my New Year gift to those who have and to those who do not have. It has been said by Desmond Tutu that hope is being able to see that there is light despite all that darkness. On that note, I would like to share the story of a shoemaker. There was a shoemaker who left his village and he traveled to urban city in the quest for better future. He went and looked for the busiest street in town and he set up his own table where he can work on people's shoes. As he was continue perfecting his skill on shoemaking, one of the richest man in town came to him to polish his shoes. And the shoemaker applied all his passions, his skill, and the businessman's shoes shine like a diamond. The businessman was impressed by the skill and dedication of this young man. And he asked him, "My friend, what credentials do you have? You seem to be a good resource for my company." The shoemaker replied softly that, "Sir, I don't have credentials, nor do I have qualification. The only thing that I have is my skill in shoemaking. And if you can take me along with you and position me next to your business or your company, then I will appreciate to work on your staff shoes." The businessman turned quickly to his PA and told his PA, "You come along with the shoemaker." They left together, went and slept in a businessman's house, and in the morning he was taken to the factory and orientation took place. While the orientation was ongoing, the shoemaker failed to comprehend or even to see where he can fit in the company because every work in that factory seemed to be alien to him. In the evening, they drove back home and he was asked by the businessman that, "My friend, after you have been shown all the company's departments, which department do you think you can fit in and serve adequately and effectively?" The shoemaker said, "Sir, all the work in the factory seemed to be a bit complicated, but I can tell you that I'm a quick learner. I can learn quickly and work effectively." And he added that, "I suggest, sir, if possible, you can assign me to the Department of Distribution and Delivery, that I can work adequately." The businessman embraced the idea and he was assigned to the Department of Distribution and Delivery. Within a short period of time, his work was so effective and efficient. Then the businessman was impressed and he promoted him to be the supervisor of the Department of Distribution and Delivery. After 2 years, the shoemaker began owning his own businesses. Within no time, the man also became one of the richest in the town. And while he was on the luxurious life enjoying, two spirits visited him: the spirit of greed and the spirit of negative pride. As you may well know, there are good assumptions of rich people and the arrogancy of rich people. These two things already possess the shoemaker, and he began to engage in excessive drinking of alcohol and began to exercise alien behaviors which were not with him before. The crew which you attracted during his wealth tried to advise him that you need to go back to your original behaviors. Otherwise, you need to reduce on this. He did not listen. He paid them a debt here. As time goes by, his businesses collapsed, and he remained with only the properties, the house and the car. After he has realized that he has nothing left in his hand, he opted to sell the house and the car too. The man went back literally to the misfortune angle of his history. One day, he went back to the businessman who employed him. He narrated to him the whole story with a broken pride. And he appealed again for the second chance to be granted to him by the businessman. Unfortunately, the businessman replied to him, "Yes, my friend, you were on the grass, and due to your passion, discipline, and dedication, I decided to help you, and you lifted yourself to the grace. And up to now, I don't know exactly what happened. That just dropped you drastically from grace to grass. Up to this level, I will not help you any longer. There are many people outside there who are looking for such opportunities. Your chance come once. You misuse it, and you went back to where you belong. And that is the street." The shoemaker broke down in tears. He left. He went automatically and joined the street families. After a while, reflecting his luxurious life, the friend that he had, all of them left him. And he remained alone. And do you know what the community were paying him back? After everything that he had done to them, the whole community was mocking him. Others were pitying him. But you know, once you drop drastically to the grass, people start working on you. They worked on him. The man thought of not tolerating any longer the mockery of the society, and he arrived to the conclusion that the last option that I have is to commit suicide. In the morning, he climbed up to the mountain top, and he went to the cliff of the mountain. He wanted to throw himself down to die, because there is no any future, according to him. Before he threw himself down, he heard the voice of elderly man saying, "Hey, young man, before you commit suicide, may I have one question to ask?" And the man turned at that critical moment, and he saw an elderly Zen master who used to go to that mountain for meditation on a daily basis. The Zen master asked him, "Young man, what went wrong in your life? Why do you want to commit suicide?" And he knelt down and narrated the whole story from being on dark side of the story to being on the light side of the story, and decided by himself to go back to the dark side of the story. And he broke down in tears, crying. The Zen master told him, "Young man, look here. Are you aware in your life there is day and night?" And he said, "What do you mean, sir?" The Zen master told him, "In our life, we always have dark side of our stories and this side of positive one, which is the light side. A light side of our story represent our day, and the dark side represent our night. And you need to be aware that there is a very thin line rather, between these two roads of life journey. Once you mess up and you cross this line, then you'll find yourself on the dark side. And the chances of you coming back again to the light side are very high, so long you remain focused and patient." And the Zen master added to him that you need to know one thing, that in our life, our daily life, there is nothing permanent. Anything shall pass. You were on the misfortune side of the story, and your darkness days passed, and you came to the side of light. You enjoy the luxurious things that you possess, and the two passed. Now you are on the dark side, and you want to end your life. Don't you know that within no time, so long you are patient, focused, and determined, you can still come back to the light side of the story? As I'm leaving, the choice is yours. And remember, no condition is permanent." And Zen master left. The shoes maker broke down in tears, cried. After he cried, he went back to the town. He slept on the street, and in the morning he woke up and he went straight to the bank to seek for the bank loan. Fortunately, he was granted the bank loan, and the man resumed his businesses, and all his friends, the old friends who deserted him during the darkness, tried to come back to him. What do we learn from such stories? Number one, to those who have, you need to know that there is time for everything. Before you had nothing, and now you have it. And before you may possibly end your life on earth, you may not even have anything. And by the time you die, you'll go back empty-handed. You need to see humanity with a different angle, not with the angle of material things that you possess. Do not despise anybody. And to those who do not have, be optimistic that any time you might have it. It is just a matter of being focused, determined, and remain on the right path, and you will have it. And remember, there are a lot of setbacks and circumstances that always forces us to do things that are contrary to our behaviors. Thirdly, generally to those who have and those who do not have, to the sober man and to the madman, you need to know one thing, that in our life, the most important human being is not the president of your country. It's not the minister of your country. It's not anybody, the richest man in your country. The most important man is a living man. The living man is the most important human being. And you need to respect them, despite the material things they possess, despite their social or economic status. Respect them by the virtue of their life. You may be relevant to your society today, your family, your relatives, and your community. But by the time you die, you'll be a gone story. People will mourn for you within a short period of time, and they'll move on with their life. They will dance, they will enjoy, they will even fight themselves. But once you are alive, you can make any decision, whether bad or good. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are stepping to the new year 2023, you need to have resolution. You need to acknowledge your past story, whether bad or good. And you need to be patient with your present. Control them and manage them without hurting anyone, in order to determine your future. The sorrows that you went through in 2022 might completely be different from the joy that you may have in the year 2023. The choice is yours. And the years are not waiting for us. Time is not waiting for us. You need to chance some of the behaviors that irritate people around you. Lastly, the world is unsafe for human race. The rate of death is increasing every day. You need to find time to talk to your loved one. If you have your dad, your mom, call them like once a while. Know how they are doing. Your brothers, your siblings, your relatives, you need to check on them. You don't know the time you might leave the world, or the time they may leave the world. And it will be sad story, like what my friend told me, that he was in communication with his mom, and after he got a job, he decided to chant the communication with his mom for a long time. And he was called and told, your mom is sick. Kindly try to talk to her. And the guy kept postponing talking to his mother. And unfortunately, he decided to call his mother on Sunday. And once he called on Sunday, he was told the sad news that your mother has passed on. The guy, up to now, never forgave himself and never forgive himself for that mistake. By the time he narrated to me this story, I was almost shedding tears. And I tried as much as I could to console him. The same thing, kindly, let's try to show love while we are alive. Do not show love to your loved ones once they are gone. Up to this level, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you Happy New Year and prosperous 2023. May God bless you all. May God bless South Sudan, especially those who are suffering in Upper Nile region, Barkazar region, in Equatorial region, another part of Africa continent. May God bless Africa. Thank you so much. Enjoy your new year with a new resolution, with a new mind, with a new soul, with a new heart. Be blessed. Thank you.